Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting of your Westland City Council to order. We will begin tonight's meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilwoman Andrea Rakowski.
Thank you, Council President. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilwoman Rakowski, for leading us in the pledge. Madam Deputy Clerk, roll call, please, and welcome to your first meeting.
Thank you. Councilwoman Bauman.
Present.
Councilwoman Martin. Here. Councilwoman Rakowski.
Present.
Councilwoman Stampy.
Present.
Councilman Sullivan.
Here.
Pro Tem Maxwell.
Present.
And Council President McDermott.
Here.
A quorum is present.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Clerk. We will begin tonight's meeting with one special announcement and presentation with another legislative update from our state representative, Representative Dylan Wagella.
Hey, everybody, Council. And for those who don't know me, I'm Dylan Wagella, State Representative, District 26. So Westland has two state reps. I am the state rep for Southeast Westland, everything south and east of Wayne Road and Cherry Hill. First off, just like to start off, if anyone needs to get in contact with my office, they can get in contact, give us a call at 517-373-3818, and our email is dylanwagella, DYLANWEGELA at house.mi.gov. So a couple things I have for updates tonight. First and foremost, it's budget season in Lansing, and much like last year, I think we're going to be in for a longer than anticipated budget season. We have a requirement. We're supposed to have the budget done by the end of June. Last year, you might remember, that got dragged out all the way into October, and we even had to pass a continuing budget for a week longer because we have split power right now in the Senate. Democrats are in control, and the House Republicans are in control. A couple things I'm fighting for, just to talk about the budget, is to make sure we increase revenue sharing for all of you. I think the state should be putting some of that money back locally, especially after all the cuts in the last several decades, as well as increasing school funding. We're already seeing Republican Speaker Matt Hall talk about stalling the budget for several months. He's saying this publicly, and people can look that up. And I just want to remind folks, last year's budget, in my opinion, was completely unacceptable. Not only did we unnecessarily cut thousands of jobs across the state, we also took $1.3 billion from the school aid fund to offset road funding, which is not something I support, especially as a former educator. So I'll keep you updated as that process goes, continuing to fight for our residents here and the working class people of Westland. A couple other things I've been working on in Lansing. One, I think that is of dire importance in this moment is the conditions at Women's Huron Valley Correctional Facility in Michigan, which is Michigan's only women's prison. I've been pushing with my colleagues to make sure that we make the conditions there better by testing for black mold, for investigating the recent deaths that have been happening there. We've been leading the charge to push for medical clemency for Crystal Clark, who is in that facility and is literally growing mold out of both of her ears at this moment, as well as calling for the resignation of Heidi Washington, who is in charge of our correctional facilities because of how the conditions have been over the last several years. So I'll continue to keep you updated on that. Investigations are ongoing at the recent deaths, but the people of Michigan deserve better that are in our correctional facilities. Recently, you might have seen in the news just today, and you might remember under the Democratic trifecta, my office was censored by Democratic leadership for trying to be critical of DTE in my newsletters to constituents. I am now facing censorship by Republican Speaker Matt Hall. I am not being allowed to call the Iran war a war, despite the fact that our president and the Secretary of War are repeatedly referring to that conflict as a war. There are some news articles out about that can be looked up. Some of the legislation I've been working on as well is we just introduced and reintroduced right to sit legislation, which essentially what it would do is it would require workplaces to provide seating if you can do your job while seating. The best way I can explain this to you is if you've ever been in an Aldi's and you go to checkout, the cashiers have a seat provided for them. But if you go to Meijer or Walmart or somewhere else, there is no seat provided to the cashiers. And as somebody who lives with a chronic illness, I have fibromyalgia, I understand the importance there is for workers, if they can do their job, to be able to take a seat. It is unhealthy to stand for 12 to 8 hours. So if a job can be performed without, with being able to be seated, why are we not making that a requirement in Michigan law? Several states have this, such as Florida, for example. So we've been pushing for that for a couple of years now and hoping to eventually get a hearing on that, maybe when the powers of Lansing swing back next year. Also was proud to introduce legislation that would require employers to post the national labor rights inside common workplace areas as well as on websites. And additionally co-signed legislation that would provide for a tenant's bill of rights for residents across the state of Michigan. As you've probably heard me talk about several times and maybe are tired of hearing me talk about, one of the most proud pieces of legislation I have is the Taking Back Our Power legislation, which would ban corporations from donating in secret in our elections, such as DTE, Blue Cross Blue Shield, et cetera. These corporations are donating millions of dollars per year to influence our elections. That has been turned into a ballot initiative, MOP, Michiganders for Money Out of Politics. And over the last month, we just saw them submit hundreds of thousands of signatures to hopefully get that on the November ballot. So the people of Westland will be able to vote to ban corporations from donating in our elections, which will hopefully clean up our election politics. And the last thing I wanted to come talk to you about is, you might have been seeing, if you've been following kind of the public zeitgeist, if you will, is public opposition to flock across the state has been growing. In Ferndale, they canceled their local contracts for flock. In Clawson, they did the same, and in Oakland County, there have been some major discussions, as well as in other places across the state. And at the state level, we've been working on this as well. So I've co-sponsored legislation that would require data limits on the information that is collected and for how long. We're working on legislation that would ban flock from being owned and controlled by private companies. But I just want to encourage, this is a technology that I'm 100% opposed to, and every resident and the vast majority of residents I've talked to that have been explained what this technology does, which for those of you who don't know, it takes a picture of every vehicle that passes these cameras, their license plate, and in identifying features of that vehicle, regardless of whether somebody has committed a crime or not. And I actually want to encourage the council here, because I know Westland has flock, not only to cancel this contract, but also to go and look yourself up in the system and see exactly how you, as a representative, could be tracked by said system. Because these systems have and can be abused, right? And this is the thing. Mass surveillance systems can be abused. We've seen it already in several states across the country. In Florida, this technology was used to track someone going out of state to get an abortion. As you know, abortion is illegal. In Texas, I should say, I think I might have said Florida. In Florida, they used it to track No Kings protesters and their movements. In several different states, there have been cases of officers using this technology to track ex-lovers. In Kansas, I think it was over 148 times in the matter of 4 months. The point is that we should be doing everything we can to make sure we're protecting our privacy and our civil rights. And I want to make sure that our communities have that protection. And I also want to encourage you as council members, one of the things they did in Ferndale is they actually requested an audit to see how the program was being used and to see what was being searched. And I'm sure some people will talk about that later, but I think it would be a good thing to do. So I just want to encourage you to have as much discussion as you can with residents, with the public on this issue. And then lastly, I think about this, I just want to kind of speak from the heart here, I can't help but think at the state level, because the state has flock cameras as well. Is there not a better way for us to be spending taxpayer money at the state level and at local levels than a technology that mass surveils the people? We live at a time where people are struggling to pay their bills, where we need road infrastructure, we need parks and recreation and education. And I continuously see in Lansing and at the federal level, our tax dollars being spent for war, being spent to give corporations handouts, and being spent in ways that increase mass incarceration and also mass surveillance. And I beg of the people of Michigan and my colleagues at the state level and us here at the local level to rethink, is there not a better way for us to spend taxpayer dollars and a better way to move forward to keep our communities safe? And that'll conclude my updates. I appreciate serving the city here and representing the people of Westland, and thank you.
Thank you, Representative Wagella. We will now move on to questions or input on the agenda from the public. This section will allow members of the public at the beginning of the meeting to address the council regarding items that are on tonight's business agenda. Questions asked may be responded to during an agenda item following a motion and support from your Westland City Council. Is there anyone on my left? Anyone on my right? Mr. Warren? We see you.
Yes, I do. Under the consent calendar, item K. While looking up on Zillow, I see this particular property is at $142,000 as it exists. And the proposal here is to put another $118,000 into this property. I just would need to know whether you guys seen any blueprints in regards to this property. And some of you guys are probably in real estate, and that would be a bad move unless you're going to just tear down the property and put over a $250,000 home, where historically we've just been putting $160,000 homes there. So I just need hear some rationale. I'd like council to set it aside so we can hear some rationale from the Community Development Department of why the $118,000 overage, which I see as overage in regards to this property. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Warren. Is there anyone on my right? Anyone on my left? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we will close public comment on the agenda and move on to the consent calendar. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Councilwoman Markowski. Is there support?
Support.
Supported by Councilwoman Sampe. Are there any changes to the consent calendar?
Yes, Council President, I'd
Yes.
like to move item K to new business.
There is a motion, proposal to move item K to new business. Is there support?
Support.
There is support. Madam Deputy Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilwoman Bauman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin,
Yes.
Councilwoman Rakowski,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sampe,
Yes.
Councilman Sullivan,
Yes.
Pro Tem Maxwell,
Yes.
and Council President McDermott.
Yes. Now back to the consent calendar as amended. Are there any other changes to the consent calendar? Yes, Councilman Sullivan.
I move item L to new business.
There's a motion to move item L to new business by Councilman Sullivan. Is there support? Supported by Councilwoman Bauman. Madam Deputy Clerk, I'll let you catch up there. Roll call,
Okay.
please.
Councilwoman Bauman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin,
No.
Councilwoman Rakowski,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sampe,
Yes.
Councilman Sullivan,
Yes.
Pro Tem Maxwell,
Yes.
and Council President McDermott.
Yes. Back to the consent calendar as amended. Are there any other changes to the consent calendar? Yes.
I motion to move item J from the consent calendar to new business.
There's a motion to move item J from consent calendar. Is there support?
Support.
Supported by Councilwoman Martin. Madam Deputy Clerk? roll call.
Councilwoman Bauman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin,
Yes.
Councilwoman Rakowski,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sampe,
Yes.
Councilman Sullivan,
Yes.
Pro Tem Maxwell, and Council President McDermott.
Yes. Okay, back to the consent calendar. Try number 4 here. As amended, are there any other changes to the consent calendar? Any other changes? Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing and seeing none, consent calendar, motion passes as amended.
Council has approved the following consent calendar items. Minutes of the regular meeting held June 1st, 2026. Approval of purchase of supplemental ballistic protection plates from CMP Distributors for Police Department, amount not to exceed $46,295. Approval of bid for ice arena compressor repair project. Administration recommends bid award to low bidder Service Refrigeration, Inc. Total amount of project shall not exceed $13,948. Approval of agreement between the City of Westland and the Municipal Service Bureau, MSB, for crossing guard management services for a one-year period commencing immediately and ending June 30th, 2027. Amount is $243,000, and authorizes the mayor and city clerk to execute the agreement on behalf of the city. Approval of agreement between the City of Westland and the Municipal Service Bureau, MSB, for golf course management services for a one-year period commencing immediately and ending June 30th, 2027, amount $145,000, and authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute the agreement on behalf of the city. Approval of the agreement between the City of Westland and the Municipal Service Bureau, MSB, for Westland Ice Arena Management Services for a one-year period commencing immediately and ending June 30th, 2027, amount $195,000, and authorizes the mayor and city clerk to execute the agreement on behalf of the city. Approval of the agreement between the City of Westland and the Municipal Service Bureau, MSB, for park rangers for a one-year period commencing immediately and ending June 30th, 2027, amount $140,000, and authorizes the mayor and city clerk to execute agreement on behalf of the city. Introduction of budget amendments for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2026. And then,
I think that's it.
That's
Everything
it.
else got moved?
yeah,
We didn't move on?
no. And then waive procedure to allow the introduction of adoption of budget amendments for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2026.
Okay.
Moving to payment of vouchers.
Is there a motion? Motion by Councilwoman Markowski, is there support? Supported by Councilwoman Martin. Is there any discussion from the maker? Any discussion from the supporter? Any other discussion from the council? Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing and seeing none, motion passes.
New business item 1, approval of settlement of Blue Water Cannabis versus Westland as recommended by MMRA Defense Council.
Is there a motion? Motion by Councilwoman Markowski, is there support? Supported by Councilman Sullivan. Did the city attorney's office have anything they needed to add?
No, this matter was discussed in closed session as allowed under the Open Meetings Act, and the recommendation that was discussed there is what's on the table today.
Okay. And is there any dissent? Oh, does it? You're right. Roll call.
Councilwoman Bauman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rakowski?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sampe?
Yes.
Councilman Sullivan?
Yes.
Or Pro Tem Maxwell?
Yes.
And Council President McDermott?
Yes.
Motion passes. Sorry, I'm just a little bit behind. Give me one second.
No worries.
You really handed it to her for her.
We're working.
That's okay.
Take your time.
Yes. Right, but there's J too, correct? Missing, hold on one second. I should be first. Okay. So, yep, item 1A is adoption of budget amendments for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2026.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Councilwoman Martin, is there support? Is there anything that the administration wanted to add with regards to this, or do you want to wait till on the budget amendments? Okay. Any discussion from the maker? No. Any discussion from the supporter? No. Any other discussion from the council? Yes, Councilwoman Sampe.
Thank you. Thank you, Council President. I have received a lot of phone calls from residents, and one of the things that we talked about in the study session was the decrease in recreation revenue, close to $80,000, because our spray park is not open. So the mayor confirmed today that it will be open on Thursday. However, we did not have the Parks and Rec Director, Kyle Mulligan, in our session. So through the chair to Kyle, there was questions that got posed in the session that were related to penalties, that the vendor did not meet expectation with having the spray park done in time. So through the chair to Director Mulligan, are you able to talk about that, if we are able to recoup any penalties from the money loss?
Through the chair, I have not had those conversations with the contractor. The way that the process on this bid project went out was a little bit delayed. We've been working diligently with the contractor to get it done. There are things that are out of their control, such as like the fence being on back order. But I can assure you that they are working as fast as they can. I have not had that conversation. This is the first that I am hearing of it. But I'd be willing to answer any questions, other questions. I was not in the study session, as you said, so.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so one of the things that was mentioned is people lost, I guess, their pavilion, that they had a party there or something. So I know there was a couple different issues that got brought up, but my hope is that we can speak with the vendor. If it was a project that was this season, I hope that we can start maybe next year, prior, like after season close. I just don't want this to happen again. I know there's been a lot of kiddos that have been pretty bummed, and I've received so many calls from people that have said that they were just bummed about it. But the mayor confirmed it will be open on Thursday, which is awesome, exciting. I'm just hopeful that like we can collect some of the lost revenue, since we lost $80,000 of revenue for not having either sold or whatnot. I think it's just really important that residents know that, you know, obviously because of a vendor issue, that we are losing money.
Yeah, please, Director Morgan.
Through the chair, I wanted to address a couple of things. The pavilion situation, I can assure you, we did have one instance where a lady did call us that did not hear from us. We have reached out to every person that's rented a pavilion the week before, knowing, hey, we're delayed. We didn't want to go too far out, because if I had a timeline to give you guys, I would have loved to provide it. I'm just as frustrated about the spray park not being open as you guys all are. But we are going to discount the annual resident, or the annual passes for the year. And we do anticipate some of those lost revenues being recuperated in early July when the new budget happens, as well as at the end of the day, the spray park's going to be expanded next year. We should see an uptick in, May, June, when we are open in 2027 as well. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Awesome. And I know that we increased the pricing to $75 for an annual membership if you are a resident, for up to 6 people, and $150 for non-residents. I would just ask that the administration maybe consider extending it out, if weather permits, a little bit longer, just to give those people a little bit of time. But yeah, I know that we're going to recoup the money in other ways. I'm just hoping that we can hold the vendor accountable in some way and try to recoup that money. But other than that, that's all, Council President, that I had for concerns that I just wanted to hopefully air out and let people know that the administration is aware of it. And the mayor did confirm that it's opening on Thursday. So it's 3 weeks later than what we thought, but at least it's opening, and weather's now starting to break. So we appreciate the patience.
Thank you. Councilwoman Martin.
Director Kyle, could you give us a better explanation of what that 80,000, 75,000 might be as far as a decrease?
So through the chair, and if finance wants to jump in on any of the numbers I'm missing, the majority of it is obviously spray park revenue, but it also would include the concessions as a downtick because people aren't there and other things like that. So just that.
So it's 75,000 for the spray park only? For
No.
3 weeks?
Through the chair, no.
Wow. Okay, thank you.
All set, Councilwoman?
That's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is there any other discussion? Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing and seeing none, motion passes.
New business item 1B, formerly consent calendar item K. Adoption of the prepared resolution authorizing the WWCSD Construction Technology Partnership Agreement to use home funds for the 2026-2027 fiscal year and the amount of $260,000 to build and/or rehabilitate the property at 1448 Elias. Mayor and clerk to sign the partnership agreement. Campbell to sign all other documents on behalf of the city in relation to the construction and sale of this property to an eligible home buyer upon completion.
Is there a motion? Motion by Councilman Murkowski. Is there support? Support. Supported by Councilwoman Martin. Is there any discussion from the maker?
Thank you, Council President. Through the chair to Director Campbell, I was just hoping that you could address Mr. Warren's questions for those that are present today and those that will be watching in the future.
Yes, of course, through the Council President. So if you look at Zillow, you see a picture of a house. If you drove by the property, you would see there is no house there any longer. The City Council approved funding for this project with the Community Development and Home Partnership Program budget application that was approved at the first meeting in May as part of our 2026-2027 community development projects. This is our partnership with the Wayne Westland Community School District Construction Technology Program. The property was acquired through Wayne County tax foreclosure. The property was blighted and vacant for approximately 20 years. It has been demolished, and the $260,000 is the estimated construction price. That project will begin with the new students in the fall. We will see some prep on the property prior to the school year beginning so the students can start right away.
All set, Councilwoman?
No, I'll continue. Thank you, Director Campbell. I think all of us have experienced a rising cost in all things. That would include construction as well. I know we experienced some jumps in construction for our current projects being the fire department or fire station at Station 2 and our upcoming builds as well. So thank you for that clarity, for letting us know that it's essentially going to be a new build, which is really exciting for the students. Anytime that we can work in collaboration with our public school children and give them an opportunity to utilize skills through our tech center is always a plus for me. Of course, I am biased, being a teacher. However, we've had a lot of success with this partnership in the past, and I hope that it's something that can continue into the future.
Thank you, Councilwoman Rakowski. Councilwoman Martin?
Thank you.
Nothing? Okay. Is there any other discussion from the council? Any other discussion? Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing and seeing none, motion passes.
New business item 1C, formerly consent calendar, item L, adoption of the ordinance 248-A-120, an ordinance to amend the ordinance 248 to show GAR, garden apartment residential, where R1 single-family residential is now shown in the area situated in the city of Westland described as 6013 Newburgh Road, parcels 56-028-99-026-000 and 56-028-99-0027-000, introduced May 4th, 2026.
Is there a motion?
Move for business.
Motion from Councilwoman Rakowski. Is there support? Support. Supported by Councilwoman Martin. Is there any discussion from the maker?
No.
Any discussion from the supporter?
No.
Is there any other discussion from the council? Yes, Councilman Sullivan.
Yeah, Council President, this is the third time this item's been in front of us. I'm asking for a roll call vote. This is the item about rezoning the property on Newburgh Road that was zoned residential so that apartments can be built there. I voiced my displeasure with that and why I don't want it done at the last two meetings that we've discussed this. The first time we voted, it was to actually change the zoning. At our last meeting was the introduction of the ordinance. We're now here for the actual adoption of the ordinance, so it's the same item basically, and for those of us that voted no on it, I would ask for a roll call vote.
Okay, is there any other discussion from the council? I will just discuss, this is an item I've been in support of and will continue to be in support of. I think this property as it stands is an empty field sitting there along Newburgh Road. A previous developer walked away from that property. That's why the initial housing that was going to go up there is not going there. But in the meantime, the trees were clear cut, the development wasn't built, and we have an opportunity to build some reasonably affordable apartment housing and multifamily housing there. So I will continue to be in support of this agenda item and ask all my colleagues that were in support to hopefully join me in support tonight of continuing to move this project forward, because if this doesn't move forward, then we have an empty field and nothing, and we're back at square one. So I will be, as I've been, in full support of this item. Is there any other discussion from the council? Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Baumann? No. Councilwoman Martin?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rakowski? Yes. Councilwoman Sampe? No. Councilman Sullivan?
No.
Pro Tem Maxwell?
Yes.
And Council President McDermott?
Yes.
Motion passes. New business item 2, approval of special land use for proposed indoor-outdoor dog cafe, 32838 Warren Road, northeast corner of Warren and Vinoy, Patry LLC, Nazreen Sala, PD, number 1092H. Planning Commission and Administration recommended approval contingent upon departmental requirements and recommendations.
Is there a motion? Motion by Councilman Sullivan, supported by Councilwoman Sampe. Director Ayub?
Sure. Thank you, Council President. The petitioner tonight, Ms. Sala, who's in the audience over here, is seeking special land use approval to occupy a vacant approximately 2,500 square foot unit inside this retail plaza for an indoor dog park cafe within the existing retail plaza. This is a supervised dog park and cafe where dog owners will stay with their dogs. There was some confusion at the Planning Commission, so I wanted to detail that. The site is currently zoned CB2. That's our shopping center commercial business district, and it was developed with this retail plaza under a previously approved site plan. Dog park businesses such as this one are subject to special land use approval. The hours of operation are Sunday through Thursday from 12 p.m. through 7 p.m. and Friday through Saturday from 12 p.m. through 9 p.m. Dog owners will be, there was a lot of back and forth discussion trying to understand how this use will operate, including discussions with the city of Southfield, who has a similar dog park cafe named Barkside, and another one in Detroit that I frequent as well, similar establishments. Those two serve alcohol, this one will not. So some of the things that I learned through discussions with Ms. Sala are dog owners will be required to sign a waiver and comply with established rules and regulations governing the facility. This includes requirements that all dogs must be spayed and neutered and up to date on their vaccinations. This facility will accommodate approximately between 40 and 50 dogs at one time within the indoor and outdoor layout, including a designated indoor area for smaller dogs separated by fencing. There will be waste bags and disposal stations and other sanitary items for waste removal at the site. The location and screening generally of the vehicular circulation and parking areas are established with the previously approved site plan I mentioned. There's a 6-foot tall vinyl privacy fence that exists along the northern property line, abutting the residential district here to the north. The location of the outdoor dog play area will be located on the east side of the building in this area over here in the grass planted field area to the east of the building. It will be enclosed using a 6-foot tall vinyl privacy fence around its perimeter with some additional landscaping outside that perimeter. The proposed special land use is consistent with the property's future land use designation, which is neighborhood commercial and office services, which is intended to support neighborhood-oriented commercial uses that provide services, recreation, and gathering opportunities for nearby residents. The Planning Commission did hold a public hearing at its June 2nd Planning Commission meeting for this item and is recommending approval. There were 2 residents that came out to speak about this petition. One of them had most of their concerns answered through dialogue between the petitioner and the Planning Commission, and also through my staff report and its explanation. There was another resident who just had concerns about the dogs and their maybe negative concerns on adjacent residential areas. Ultimately, the Planning Commission is recommending approval. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Director Ayub. Would the petitioner like to come up? Anything you'd like to add?
Good evening, everyone. Mr. Ayub really touched base on everything that it is off-leash dog park. The owners do have to stay on-site with the dogs. We will be fully staffed at all operating hours, so our employees will be responsible for picking up stool and cleaning any urine or anything that comes from the dogs instantly, and that would really help with any smells. As far as any noise concerns go, dogs off-leash are not really going to be barking at each other. Dogs typically bark if they're on leash and can't get to each other. So, like he mentioned with the dog park that we currently go to in Southfield, we barely get any dogs barking. So all the issues that may have arise have been clearly looked at, and we have everything in place to make sure everything's smooth.
Okay, great. Anything from the maker? Who's the maker? I'm sorry. Oh, Johnson, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Sabine, on it. Councilman Sullivan.
I watched the Planning Commission meeting. I think you had answered everything very well there. My initial thought, too, was about noise with those houses being close by, but when you point out the fact that when dogs are able to actually get to each other, they usually don't bark at each other.
Correct.
Also like the fact that this is for limited hours, so there will not be any dogs there barking late at night or early in the morning. So, it sounds like a interesting concept, and I wish you luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anything from the supporter?
So much. That building actually has been sitting vacant for some time. So are you going to be having your cafe indoor? I know it's indoor, outdoor. Are you serving beverages and
We're gonna be
food,
serving-
or just?
Hot and cold beverages.
Okay.
Non-alcoholic, like Mr. Ayub mentioned, and then we will be inviting at some point some kind of food trucks, maybe pizza slices. We're going to make it very enjoyable for the owner as well as the dog.
Okay, awesome. I live right by there, so I'm excited to see
Hope to
development.
see you there, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. My dog, he's naughty sometimes, but if he's good, he can join the fun, so thank
Awesome,
you.
yeah. Yeah, we will have a separate space, like Mr. Ayub said, again, for small dogs, maybe dogs that might come in that are scared at their first time. They can kind of just get used to the space.
And Councilwoman Martin?
Thanks for
honey.
doing that. I live by there, too. A couple of questions. One is, I don't see a lot of shade on the dog park. Our dog park, the Rotary Dog Park, is all shaded, so dogs can run and go back and forth, and this is fully open to the sun. Now, I know somewhere around 4 or 5 o'clock, the sun moves over, and are you going to be adding trees?
We're going to be adding picnic tables with umbrellas, whole umbrellas. We are going to be adding, I don't know 100% right now on trees inside of the fence, but definitely exterior of the fence just to show the face. As of right now, we plan on picnic tables with umbrellas.
Okay, so in the park, you said that you're going to keep the smaller dogs inside and the larger dogs outside?
No, there's just a separate space if smaller
Okay.
dogs want to play together.
Okay, and then at the end of the day, okay, you said it's fully staffed. What is fully staffed? How many people?
3 to 6, depending on the time of the day and the day of the week.
Okay, and then you say 40 to 50 dogs? Is it closer to 40 or 50, or is it based on the size of the dogs?
Right now, we're playing with almost 6,000 square feet of space.
Right?
I'm hoping that we can hold up to 50 dogs. Again, we have to monitor and see how this goes, to be honest with you. I don't have a clear answer on that right now. Maybe it could be 30 dogs once we see 40 or 50 is too many. We might change to a time slot kind of thing if we see, right now it's going to be open base. This is going to be a membership-based dog park with day passes available. So we're going to see how that goes, to be honest with you. I don't have an accurate answer on that.
And then lastly, at the end of the day, for cleanliness, they're dogs. There's going to be a lot of cleaning up. I understand owners will have to clean up themselves.
Yeah.
But I know, you may not be this far, but what's your procedure to
I
clean
am.
up?
I'm actually, I've got all the behind-the-scenes stuff already done. So the flooring on the inside of the building is going to be epoxy flooring, so it's going to be very easy to clean if dogs have accidents. Also, at the end of the night, we're going to have like a mop kind of machine that's going to have sanitary cleaner in it. We're going to go around the inside. The exterior fenced-in space will be mulch. which is going to be 1, easy to replace, 2, easy for the urine to go through, and 3, easy for us to kind of spray some kind of disinfectant on it for whatever reason. So we are going to be doing those cleaning things on a daily basis.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
All set, Councilwoman?
All set.
Okay, Councilwoman Bauman.
Yes, and I will apologize. I did not get a chance to watch the planning committee, so I don't, if these questions were already asked at that time, I apologize. I mean, I'll put that out there. Are you going to have any trainers on? I saw a little bit about the behavior. You're really going to monitor that, but at the same time, you're going to actually have any actual dog trainers available to kind of keep an eye on any of this?
No, at the end of the day, the owner is fully responsible for their dog's behavior. My employees are there to monitor the safety of other dogs. We're not going to be having dog trainers, no. We're going to just have employees that absolutely love dogs and love being around dogs, and therefore, they're really there to make sure the safety of the human and the animals are in place.
Okay. I've actually done dog training, so I actually,
Oh, okay. I mean, you know what, there's a lot of things that may arise from this.
What's an average time that people stay at your cafes like this?
So speaking from experience, for me and my dog, I have a Samoyed. We typically sometimes go for a couple hours at a time.
Okay. And I think, I don't know if this question goes through the chair to the director or not, but are there any requirements that the dogs are also licensed or properly licensed within Westland at here, or is it just the vaccinations?
At this time, I think that the location that we're in is going to invite people from Livonia, from Dearborn Heights, Dearborn, Garden City, Canton, and of course, Westland residents. So I don't think there's any restrictions on having that.
No? Okay. And I had another question, but I can't remember what it is right now, so
I'm here all
stop there.
night.
Thanks.
All set?
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, just one quick question. Any restrictions as far as breeds of dog go? Because I know that some of these, dog parks and places will be like breed restrictive.
As a dog lover, I'm going to have to say no. It's really strictly on behavior of the dog. Just to kind of touch base on that, if we see a dog is acting out that day, we'll address the owner and say, hey, pull them apart for a few minutes. They may forget each other exist. The dog has another issue with the same dog or another dog, we will ask them to leave for the day and maybe just try another day. So I'm going to say no right now on breed selection.
Okay, and if there is like a repeat issue with a repeat dog or owner, would that person then ultimately, like, let's say they come 2 or 3 times and they have an incident, would you be looking to ban that dog or that owner from your facility? How would that work?
Unfortunately, yes. The contract they will be signing with the subscription and/or day pass will have that stated 3 offenses, and the dog has to get revoked membership.
Okay, great. Is there any other discussion from the council? Any other discussion? Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing and seeing none, motion passes. Thank you for your
Thank you
investment in
guys very
Westland.
much.
Good luck.
Thank you.
New business item number 3, confirmation of reappointment of Mayor Kevin Coleman as delegate to the Central Wayne County Sanitation Authority, CWCSA, appointment to become effective July 1st, 2026, and expire June 30th, 2027.
There's a motion by Councilwoman Bauman. Is there support? Supported by Councilwoman Rakowski. Is there any discussion from the maker? Any discussion from the supporter? Mayor, do you have anything you wanted to add about this?
No, but thank you for nominating me.
Okay. You're very welcome. Any dissent? What? Oh, you had a question? Okay. I didn't see
Is
one.
he qualified?
Yes.
Thank you.
All set there? All right. Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing and seeing none, motion passes.
New business item number 4, confirmation of reappointment of Steve Smith as alternate delegate to the Central Wayne County Sanitation Authority, CWCSA, for 1-year term, effective July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2027.
There's a motion by Councilwoman Rakowski, supported by Councilwoman Sampe. Director Smith, anything? No? Okay. Any comments from the maker? Okay. Anything from the supporter? Any other discussion from the council? Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing and seeing none, motion passes. All right. We will now move on to public comment. Everyone speaking before the council should do so in a civil manner. Speakers should refrain from abusive or profane remarks, vulgar language, disruptive outbursts, threats, racial slurs, or other conduct that interferes with the orderly conduct of the business meeting. Personal attacks on council members, the administration, city staff, other speakers, or members of the public do not promote civil discourse. Comments shall be directed to the chair and not to people in the audience. The chair shall call to order any person who is being disorderly by speaking when not having been recognized by the chair or is being disruptive to the proceedings. If any person, after being called to order, continues to be disorderly, creating a public 13 disturbance, the chair may order that person removed from the meeting immediately. Is there anyone on my left? Yes, Director Easy.
Good evening, Mayor Coleman and members of City Council. My name is C. Pascal Eze. 4 years ago, after serving on the Westland Housing Commission, I stood before you as the city's new Chief Diversity Officer. Today, I stand before you as the Director of Community Engagement and also as a father, mentor, neighbor, homeowner, and proud member of the Westland community. Community engagement begins with listening. Even when we disagree, we have a responsibility to hear one another with respect and to seek understanding. I would like to thank Mayor Coleman for facilitating a meeting last week that allowed me the opportunity to listen directly to Ms. Lori Wilson and better understand her concerns and perspective. Ms. Wilson, I want you to know that I have heard what you shared. I respect your commitment to our community, and I appreciate the contributions you have made on behalf of Westland residents. I also recognize that comments I made during a DEI discussion 2 years ago in 2024 were received in a way that caused concern and offense. While that was never my intention, I sincerely regret the impact those remarks had on you and the strain they created. My hope is that we can move forward with greater understanding, mutual respect, and a shared commitment to serving the people of Westland. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Director Izzi. Is there anyone on my right? Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, Patty Fennick, 20-year Westland resident. First of all, I would like to understand why we have an animal control officers, and I ask that because over the past 3 years, I have contacted animal control about a wild animal in my neighborhood. I don't want to see the animal get hit or attack. We have a lot of small children in my neighborhood, and I don't want to see anybody get hurt. I've gotten different answers each time. The last one, just a few days ago, them telling me I should go buy a trap and trap it myself and take it to the Humane Society. That's not my job. That's the job of the animal control. Another thing I would like to address is, and I know we're not the only neighborhood, I want to know when something is going to be done about the speeding in my neighborhood. I walk in my neighborhood, I'm afraid I'm going to get hit. It's even the school bus drivers and people driving those electric bikes 90 miles an hour, and they have a passenger on the front. People are parking across the approaches and the sidewalks. My mother, who walks with a cane, can't even walk in the neighborhood for exercise because people aren't following the rules. The speed bumps, they laugh at those. We pay taxes, and I'm sick and tired of it. Every time I come here, I complain about it, and nothing gets done. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there anyone on my left? Yes, Ms. Wilson. Oh. I see, we'll get you.
Good evening, Mayor Coleman, council. Thank you, Mike. I wanted to tell you I watched your This Week in Westland. I want to remind the citizens of Westland and the surrounding area that our Juneteenth celebration is this Friday, June 19th, 5:30 to 8:30 at Gethsemane Missionary Baptist Church on Eaton Street. And if you ride down and you come down Middle Belt and you get to Annapolis, you'll see these nice banners notating the area that we are part of Westland. Thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you there.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson. And anyone on my right? Yes, ma'am.
My name is Patricia Fenner, and I live on Patricia Place Drive. I'm here to complain about the speeding in Brookville Village. How many years does this have to go on? When we never even see a patrol car, and then they tell us, well, we're always down there. Well, you must be using Superwoman's patrol car, which is invisible. The school bus drivers, I call the police department, and the police department says it's not their responsibility. Well, I say, whose is it? Call the Board of Education. Well, the next time I get stopped for a ticket, I'm going to say, hey, I work for the Board of Education. You think it's funny? You laughed at me last time I was here, didn't you? You think it's funny? I'm here with a serious, and you're laughing. Yeah, you're not laughing.
Ma'am, he wasn't laughing, and he's the fire chief, ma'am.
Yeah, I know. I'm talking, you know, I have only 3 minutes. I want to talk about a house on Patricia Place Drive. It's known as, and I won't give the address up here, but it's known as a 1-800 You Got Junk house. And the mayor said he came through my neighborhood. Did you see it? Did you?
I didn't see the house you're talking about.
Well, you should have looked around because everybody's talking about it.
You can give us
It's really
that.
bad. It's on Patricia Place Drive, and it backs up to Superior Parkway. It should be on a hoarders. That's how bad it is.
Ma'am,
And they've been there for 17 years, and there've been a lot of complaints. The association has done nothing about it. And I'd like the city to, it's blight. It's really, really bad.
We'll come and talk to you afterwards and capture the address from you.
I'd like
Pardon me?
Mrs. Fennick, could I get the address from you so we can look?
I'll give it to you after. I don't
Okay.
have it.
Okay, thank you.
And I just want something done with this speeding. I witnessed a school bus driver stop on the corner of Superior Parkway and Summerfield. She had the sign out, stop, which means everybody stops on both sides. People don't understand that. And they went right through and almost hit a child. And these are small kids coming off that bus. I don't want to see no small kid getting hurt. But I guess, I don't know, somebody in the city doesn't care. They don't do anything about it. I can't even walk. I broke my back and I can't even walk with a cane because I have to walk out in the street because the people by me park across their driveways. And I've called the police several times about it. I know that's illegal. Is it illegal, sir? To park across your driveway? Is it illegal?
Ma'am, your time is up. We will come and talk with you afterwards.
I know it's illegal.
Ma'am, your time is up.
It is illegal.
Ma'am, your time is up. We'll come and talk to you afterwards about this. Thank you. Is there anyone on my left? Ms. Thomas?
Okay, good morning, good evening, Mayor and Council. You know what, first of all, Mike, I want to give you, just to let you know, the camera does you good. Saw you on the news talking about the way the sanitation problems that everybody's having, especially Westland. Well, let me tell you, when I was coming home this evening, before coming here, turned on my street, and I took video and pictures of it. Whatever happened to the truck, and the lady told me, she opened her door when she saw me taking pictures of it, and she said she tried to tell the guy that trash was being dumped out of the back of the truck, but they kept going. So now we have glass all over the front. I mean, I just turned right into it, and I'm like, well, I hope I don't get a flat tire from it. So I took pictures of it. But it's awful. This is just terrible, the way that they do stuff. They come and they dump those dumpsters. Now, there's very limited spaces on a circle. So there's usually cars parked on one side of the street. They try to do one side, leaving it empty. But, however, it's a mess how they're doing things. And so, anyway, I'm sure we'll get an update on that. And then, secondly, I wanted to ask about this ordinance. I know that we used to have a guy named Rich Aubrey, who was a neighborhood service. He came through the neighborhood. Anything that was done or out of place, he would go to the specific departments himself, rather than the people that live in the community have to go spy on people, because we don't know these people. I'm not going to be taking pictures of people's homes, driving around the neighborhood, because they might follow me home. I don't know what's in people's minds anymore, but that's what he did. And during the time that he serviced our community, it was a lot better than it is now. It's getting better, but the ordinance problem, and then there's still a lot of places that people are living in that have grass this high, they look like trees. They have people, this tent outside of the home, meaning hang clothes out in this tent. So that means that they have no heat, probably very little running water or whatever. I don't know whether they're living in that home, just squatters or what, but this is the concerns of the community that's still going on with the missing landlords, not taking care of their property, not taking care of the people. They're getting big money from the state. They're getting big money for people living in those homes. So I'm just asking, if there's a particular place that we need,
Thank you, Ms.
I
Thomas.
need to talk to. I
Time
don't
is
know
up.
whether Deputy Chief.
If you stay after, we'll talk to you. But
Okay.
thank you, Ms. Thomas.
All right, thank you. Appreciate you all.
You're welcome, thank you. And on my right, yes, Anthony.
Hello, my name's Anthony. I'm a member of the Democratic Socialists of America, the Metro Detroit chapter. I'm not a Westland resident, but I'm very frequently out here in the city of Westland, visiting friends and driving through the city, where I am recorded on camera by flock cameras. I would like to ask that when the contract comes up for renewal, that you vote against it. And I want to talk about the city of Ferndale, which is right next door to where I live in Royal Oak, because they recently voted against their contract with Flock. And the data that was most convincing to City Council was audit data that they got from their police department. And the data that they got said that the total number of times that the Ferndale Flock system data was accessed was 4,352,252. Out of that total number, the total number of times that the Ferndale police accessed was 2,365. That's 0.05% of the time that that data is being accessed, that it's being accessed by the police. So when you're talking to the police and you're trying to address concerns coming up from Westland residents, you're not actually talking to the primary user of that data, of that video, of that information. The people that are using that are federal agencies. Federal agencies like the ATF, like US Border Patrol, like Homeland Security Investigative Service. I would really encourage you to think about how can you best help the residents of Westland? And the way we should think about safety is not investing money in mass surveillance technology. We should be putting money into healthcare, in housing, in transportation, in recreation, in ways that really address the affordability crisis. People are struggling to get by. And every dollar that we put into this mass surveillance technology used by the federal government is a dollar wasted that we could reinvest in the people of Westland and the people of this country. So please vote against this contract when it comes up. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone on my left? Yep. Okay. You guys are, yep, you're up.
Hello, Mayor, Council, residents. For those who don't know me, I'm Stephanie Richards. I am your Western Wayne Community Liaison for the Wayne County Sheriff's Office. It's been a while since I've been in Westland, so I wanted to stop by, but since the last time I've been here, we have a new Director of Community Engagement, so I want to personally bring her by and introduce her. This is Carrie Fairfax Moore, and just let her tell you a little bit about herself.
Hello, good evening, Mayor, Council, residents. As Stephanie just said, I am newly appointed to the Wayne County Sheriff's Office as their Director of Community Engagement. A little bit about myself. I am a retired Detroit Police Sergeant of 26 years of December 2025, and I started with the county of January 2026. The only difference is instead of just servicing the city of Detroit, there's 42 other cities and municipalities and townships within Wayne County. Our community engagement is very just good at assisting all of the other 43 cities and townships within Wayne County. I'm sure you all, I know everywhere I go, they know Stephanie. Within Western Wayne, we also have Downriver, we have Detroit and the Five Points and Harper Woods, Hamtramck, and Highland Park. But I'm not going to be biased, but you guys are the most active. So I love coming out here to city council meetings and community meetings. Very active community, which is what we love. We love to assist you in any way possible. Again, our mounted unit, our motor unit, our marine unit, our K-9 unit, whatever we can do to assist our local police, fire, small communities and residents. We are here. I did want to, I think we communicated once with our one-on-one with the sheriff. So anything Wayne County community oriented, I know there's a lot of things coming up. Please feel free to reach out. We will definitely leave some resource guides here along with our cards. If anything's coming up, we got people putting stuff on 2027 calendar. Our horses go fast. But we are here for you. I'm glad to be here. I'm trying to hit, I think I've done about, I don't know, not even half of the 43. But I want to personally try and make every city council meeting and at least put a face to the names I see just through emails. So thank you for having us, and you guys have a good evening.
Thank you, Director Fairfax Moore. And on my right, yes, ma'am.
Hello, Council. My name is Sailor Mays, and I live in Detroit in Wayne County. And I just wanted to come here today because I wanted to talk about Flock, and specifically an experience that I had regarding Flock in Rochester. So I went to their city council meeting, And I went there to talk to them about how flock safety was actually not a good use of money and also a breach of privacy. They brought 3 flock representatives on to the meeting through a Zoom call and to basically justify and defend as to why they should have a flock contract. Now, during that meeting, there was a lot of privacy and safety concerns. And when the council addressed flock and asked them if they could have sole proprietary ownership of the data, they said no. That is not possible. They also said, well, where is this data stored? And they said Amazon Cloud. So, flock data is stored on Amazon Cloud. And this is a mass surveillance effort because guess who owns also Ring doorbell? Amazon. There is a lot of different types of things that these big corporations are doing to draw on people. And like people said, there is 4 million plus views on these ALPRs in Ferndale. So also, I wanted to point out too that another technology that they have besides these automatic license plate readers, which you guys already have, are PTZ cameras. And Rochester wanted to implement these, and there was a lot of questions involved. They had people who were spokespeople that came to this meeting and said that they were into privacy, into safety, and they put on a live feed camera that they had somewhere in the south, zoomed in on a woman's face, live feed, while she was walking down getting her groceries on the street, to the point that you could see the pores in her face. So even that, them telling us that the privacy is secure and then having their spokespeople have access to that data at any time for a meeting, that's extremely concerning. I just want to let you know that Rochester failed that motion. They did not put a flock contract through. Clawson just removed their flock because they realize how bad of a system it is. And I'm trying to help out communities by saying that you guys are getting taken advantage of because they're doing this all over the country where they're getting flock representatives to come and they're taking advantage of the police departments. And they're saying, you guys can use this, it'll make your life easier. It should be offensive to you guys because they're basically telling you that you're not doing a good enough job. So thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone on my left? Mr. Warren? No, I'm pointing at Art.
Yes, since flock is an issue, and I decided to, I was pointing out all the locations where these flock cameras were. And there's a flock camera right there at the entrance to my neighborhood where we come in and go out. Unfortunately, somebody knocked it down with their car, but I'm kind of glad they did. But I don't think that council should approve a contract that will spy on the very people who support you. So you take a look at that. And if you do support it, give me a call and give me the reasons why you support it. And maybe I can talk you out of it. And the one thing, and when we look at this, going back to this house issue, is that one thing that wasn't said, the question is it sellable at that kind of price? Okay? No, the $260,000 you're going to put into it. Okay, can you get it back out of that? Okay, and that's one of the main things when you do build a house, is it sellable? And the last thing that I want to talk about is this Juneteenth, and in its relationship to Abraham Lincoln. Abraham didn't sign the Emancipation out of love for Afro-Americans. He signed it out of necessity so he could win a war and hurt the South because the South would not have any labor to do the crops because the South was an agricultural situation. And he could not get it through Congress. Those are the truths. So, and those truths will be told on Juneteenth in regards to our freedom in that sense. So that's why we signed the Emancipation Proclamation, since he was a military general and he could get it through that way, but he could not get that proposal through Congress. And so he did an executive order, and it still stands today, as an executive order on our freedom. And as you see now, there are all kinds of attacks on our civil rights. And the question is, and I raised the question, if I have a right, how can you take it from me if I have a right to it? So that's all I want to say for right now. Come to the Juneteenth.
Thank you, Mr. Warren. And am I right, Mr. Peterson?
Good evening, Council. First of all, I want to start off by saying July 10th from 4:30 to 6:30, we are having a peaceful public demonstration at Cayley Park. It will be to help raise awareness for the victims of William Asper and to be able to allow victims to have another voice, to be able to say what it is that they need to say and present evidence and everything else. Second thing. On June 2nd, 2026, at approximately 6:45 p.m., I requested a FOIA request regarding the city-issued credit card that the citizens of Westland pay for, that is issued to the mayor. I was given a response back of, we are requesting an additional 10 days. During that request, when they responded back, they did not give me a reason. Under MCL 15.235, Section 7, if a public body issues a notice extending the period for a response to the request, the notice must specify in writing reasons for the extension and the date by which the public body will do one of the following: grant the request, issue a written notice to the requesting person denying the request, or grant the request in part and issue a written notice to the requesting person denying the request in part. My question to City Council is, why are my civil rights being violated right now? Why are my constitutional rights being violated? Why was I not given an answer? And why is this being allowed? I have done a lot of research and I have found out that this is not the first time that this has happened. This continues to happen, and it seems to be with the FOIA coordinator, who is not providing answers as he is supposed to be. Now, as far as the investigations go that I have done, I do have questions for City Council. If possible, is it okay for me to ask individual questions?
I mean, you can, but your time is running up, and if you want to talk to us afterwards, we're always happy to stay.
Okay. So just let that be food for thought, that violation of constitutional rights is grounds for a civil lawsuit. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone on my left? Yes, Ms. Dale.
Good evening, everyone. Ruth Dale. As some of you know, I've always tried to promote volunteerism and preservation. On volunteerism, it's a great feeling because you know you're making a difference in whatever you undertake. You're giving of yourself, your free time, your energy, and your skills. Try it. You'll like it. On preservation of local history, in my opinion, city government cannot do it alone. It's not their sole responsibility. It's up to the Westland community to care about preserving the past and getting involved. And that made me look over some of the historical structures in our city and the ages of them. Over at the museum complex at 857 Wayne Road, we have the oldest structure, the young row house, with some Eloise artifacts in it. It was built not in Nankin, but in Canton,
but it's about a quarter of a mile from the border, and it was moved by the Wayne Westland Arts Association. It's 189 years old. Also there is the Felton Farmhouse, 172 years. The Smith Guthrie House, we know it as the Octagon House. That's around 146 years. Also located there, the log two-seater outhouse from the Guthrie Farm, moved over, it's 90 years. And also at 90 years, the McKee Barn and the Collins House. Over what used to be, that would be the Pikes Peak Village on Ann Arbor Trail, Farmington area. The Miller House, that's right across part of the mill, is 183 years. The Nankin Mill, 161. The Turret House, I call it, and it's across the trail from Nankin Mills, 156 years. It's beautiful. We have the, of course, Perrinsville one-room schoolhouse, 170 years. The Second Cooper School, one room, 161 years, moved over to Merriman Road. The Eloise Firehouse, 131 years.
I'm sorry to cut you off, Ms. Dale, but your time is up,
Got
unfortunately.
two more. Can I say two more?
Your time is up.
What?
Your time is up. Go ahead. Go ahead. Ruth, go ahead. I'm not going to do it to you.
Norwayne, 84 years. Annapolis Park, 72. Thank you for listening.
You're welcome. I have to enforce the rules. On my, yes. I'm sorry, Ruth.
Good evening. While I have 3 minutes to make my case against Flock, Flock has spent the last 2 weeks making it for me. So 404 Media broke that Flock leaked officer searches, case numbers, and the data they were searching to, if for some reason you're using Bing, to Bing. It got indexed and also by DuckDuckGo. So you can just like search on the public internet stuff that the police are looking at. Not every camera, but many cameras. On top of that, cameras, the Electronic Frontier Foundation found that cameras keep working after you've canceled the contract. So the city is not paying for it, and the cameras stay on. Why? Cities are resorting to putting trash bags over them after they cancel contracts because they can't be sure that they're not recording. You don't own the data. Where it is going is to ICE, to CBP, and very likely data harvesting for profit. As some have mentioned before, Flock raised $7.5 billion in investment, but they only make $300 million a year. And that's them being the dominant player in the industry. You don't make a return on an investment to investors in 20 years. You have to make it much, much sooner. And to my point before about them being a Trojan horse, it was mentioned as well that they have PTC cameras and drones. Microphones. I used to think this was a good technology they offered, gunshot detectors. And I thought that because gunshots blow out speakers and microphones, that this was a special technology that would just hear loud bangs, like a car crash or a gunshot. Nope. They are extremely high-powered microphones that can hear you speaking hundreds of feet away, placed above densely populated areas where people walk and travel. And these microphones that they push can record human speech. So this is extremely concerning to me, and what I want to ask is who's responsible? Who's ultimately responsible for this? Because when, not if, this technology will fail, it's just going to be, the technology did it, and we're going to work out the kinks, but real people get harmed when very personal information about them is leaked for everyone to see in 4K on the internet. Council can stop it now, right? The contract's been active for 2 years or so, and Westland has seen mixed crime records, mixed changes in what kind of crime has been happening. And while I'm not going to be disingenuous and say 2 years is a great sample size, all around the country we're seeing that this is not having a clear, consistent effect that Flock wants it to have. That, right, you're solving all this crime, you're bringing it down to zero. It's just not happening. It's just a huge liability to everyone else. To Dylan Wagella, what he said before about looking it up, HaveIBeenFlock.com is what you can use to type in your license plate, but also you can look at other resources that compile data from leaks. DFlock.com is another source you can look at to see how aggressively they've expanded, and it will explain a lot of the incompetence they've demonstrated even after 10 years of having time to develop it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Is there anyone on my left? Anyone on my right? Yes, sir.
Hi, my name is Victor Mullins. I'm speaking here as part of the Citizenship in the Community Merit Badge with Scouting BSA. And an issue I've noticed in my neighborhood recently is that the trash pickups have been getting later and later, even days, and it's been getting worse over the course of the school year. And I was wondering how this council or members of this council sort of interact with this kind of issue and respond to it, and what we as members of the community can do other than just bringing it up here.
Yeah, I think a number of us will address that because we've all been very frustrated and concerned, I think, equally with the trash. And I think, the mayor's been addressing it as well over a number of weeks and working on a resolution, so I'm sure he'll have an update during his comments as well. So that will definitely be addressed.
All right.
Thank you. Anyone on my left? And on my right? Yes, in the back.
Good evening. My name is Elizabeth Carney, and I appreciate all the members of the council and the mayor for taking the time to be here tonight. I have lived in Westland my entire life, and I'm now raising my daughter in Westland as well. I think it's fair to say I have a vested interest in making sure Westland continues to be a safe and supportive home for our youth. As a family, we spend a lot of time and money in this city, and it's important to me that our city both reflects and respects the values of its citizens. That belief and respect for our friends and neighbors is what brings me here tonight. I believe using mass surveillance to monitor and track families is wrong. As a parent, the most important job I face on a daily basis is keeping my daughters safe and happy. But an equally important step is educating and informing my child about what is to be expected of them as they conduct themselves in the outside world, and what responsibilities they will share with their friends and neighbors as they find their own place in society. Because building a strong community starts with making sure all of its members feel safe and secure. A strong community protects the weakest members and most in need of assistance. Children fall under that umbrella of needing protection. Children deserve rights and privacy, even if they don't fully understand what this surveillance is. Do the children growing up in today's world not deserve the same privacy and freedom to make mistakes without it being recorded as we experienced? What exactly is it that today's children have done for us to decide that they no longer deserve any semblance of privacy? We bragged to them about the good old days, how we could stay out till the streetlights came on, experiencing true freedom that allowed us to make mistakes and learn from them on our own without it being plastered online for the world to see. But kids today don't get that. Everywhere they go, anything they do is being recorded. By every doorbell camera, school security system, big box retailer with their own flock contract, and of course, the many flock cameras scattered throughout our community. The children of Westland are being watched and recorded everywhere they go. And I understand about right now you might be thinking I'm trying to fearmonger you, that these systems were put in place to help our police forces solve cases and find missing kids, that we trust our officers and have no reason to think that this camera system is anything other than a helpful tool to fight crime. The issue with this line of thinking is that it's not just our Westland police officers who have access to these cameras. It's an entire third party these cameras send their info to. So we're supposed to just trust faceless people with information and photos of our kids? You'll find articles about a flock camera capturing kids on a playground and then exposing that camera feed publicly online on page 5, and flock safety employees watching a kid's gymnastics room to pitch their surveillance tech on page 7 of the information packet I've provided for you. These articles barely scratch the surface of the potential safety concerns regarding this kind of mass surveillance system and how it directly impacts our children. I hope that you will take the time to read over the information I've provided for you. I tried to keep it brief, as I know you all have lives outside of the work you do here. My contact information is provided. I always have time to discuss these concerns at a greater length. Finally, you'll find a map of where we are right now in Westland, and you'll notice that this location is surrounded by flock cameras. You will be flocked as you leave here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone on my left? Anyone on my right? Yes, in the back.
That's a tough act to follow.
My name is Cameron Mills. I have been a Westland resident for the vast majority of my life, and about 1.5 years ago, I bought my first home here in the city. I am here again to speak about Flock and how I do not think that we should go forward with renewing the contracts. I think that we are at a very important moment in history, the way that we've come to it countless times before, where we must check ourselves and say, is the direction forward really worth the body count of which it may create? You know, there's been countless times where we've come to a moment and we've met it with fear and panic, and then in turn, millions have paid the cost. Obviously, it seems a little bit ridiculous to make the idea that these little cameras, these little ravens that are perched up in the trees of our neighborhoods could be so insidious, but we've heard countless examples of all of ways they're being misused and all the way that this technology is being compiled together to go against us. I was flocked twice on my way here, which means that you all could have had the general sense that I was coming here because an AI algorithm has put together that given my route where I go on my weekends, on my days off, you know, that, oh, there's only one place he could be going. I don't break the law. I follow all of the speed regulations that exist. I don't do unsafe things while driving. I am not at risk of the information as it is put to us at face value. But in the same turn, is my privacy not valued? Why should the city of Westland know where I'm going at all times? For no apparent reason. I've never given any cause to the city. In fact, I've given $120 to have a tree planted for the city in my front yard. And so with all of this being said, is that not the expectation of privacy that we believe that we're entitled to? That you can go to the store or that you can run your errands or you can do whatever you do, and as long as you are a law-abiding citizen, that you will never have to risk that somebody is for some malicious reason looking upon your stuff. We've talked about the fact that stalking presents a huge risk with Flock. And of course, you could say that not only in the facilities of lovers or children that are being stalked, but by comparison to the amount of kidnappings that are being solved by this, how many kidnappings are being perpetrated by this? The flip side exists on both ends, and we're all fortunate enough to be in this room and have this conversation safe and be able to have that, but that's not to be said for many other people. And I think that's a very important thing for us all to reflect on as July comes around and you guys decide if you're going to renew this. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone on my left? Anyone else on my right? Yes, sir.
Good evening, Council President Malby-Hurt.
Good evening.
My name is Teron Haynes, and I'm a resident of the city of Detroit, and I appreciate y'all for having me out here and our your citizens out here. I'm here to advocate that the city of Westland get rid of the Flock contract. I served with the Detroit Police Department. I'm also a military veteran. I've seen firsthand how these surveillance technology is used, and I can say firsthand from an investigative standpoint that there are always other ways around them, and sometimes they are more convenient. I'm sure that the Westland Police Department does a great job and will continue to do a great job without Flock. I don't think I need to inundate y'all with more data and information. I think there's been enough, but I do believe that what probably needs to be said is similar to what was just said previously, which is that we are at a point in where we are going to have to make history here. Technology has really never been reeled in our lifetime. We've seen us go from single web pages on MySpace and having our friends there to being able to get on that same computer and in real time watch everybody in public. And I've even seen this in Detroit at the Real-Time Crime Center that's paraded as the technological marvel in the city, but really what's happening is that they are watching every single citizen that they can. And I think, and I know actually that that is a problem. It is absolutely an issue that my daughter, who is 7 years old, can't run around any neighborhood in any city, in almost any city, without a Ring doorbell camera, and then leave that neighborhood and get on a street without more cameras watching her. With me, obviously, because she's not running around by herself. But I think we need to sit here and actually take a step back and say, what are we enabling for the city? What are we enabling in the county? What are we enabling in the state, in the country? Flock is not going to be the first and the last surveillance technology that comes to Westland, that comes to our state, that comes to our country. It's going to be more, and they're going to enter as many times as they can, because it isn't money that they really want. They want to surveil us, they want to see what we're doing, and they want the algorithm to make more sense. It isn't for our protection, it's for our surveillance, and I hope you guys consider that. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Anyone on my left? Anyone else on my right? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we will close public comments, and we will move on to comments from the administration. Mayor Coleman?
Excuse me, thank you. Thank you, Council President, thank you, City Council. Hope everybody had a nice weekend. First and foremost, to the speakers who got up talking about Flock, I want to take this opportunity to sincerely thank you for sharing your very thoughtful perspective. I think everybody tonight heard your concerns. I myself have concerns about privacy and how this data is used. And I want to take this opportunity also to let you know that, and I don't speak for the City Council, but on behalf of the administration, and I would assume that the members of the City Council will consider your perspective when making decisions going forward regarding this technology. So I just want to thank you for coming tonight. Thank you for speaking. About priority waste. For the past several months, residents have experienced delays and missed pickups of their trash, compost, recycling, bulk items, and yard waste. We've remained in constant contact with and communication with Priority Waste regarding these issues and provided opportunities for them to correct their service deficiencies. Unfortunately, resident complaints continued, and we continued unacceptable service disruptions. Last week, I announced that we will be withholding $100,000 from a future payment to Priority Waste, and will continue to monitor their performance and evaluate all available options to ensure service levels improve immediately. I spoke with the Detroit Free Press and other media outlets last week regarding this issue. And I'll repeat one of the quotes I made to the Detroit Free Press, which is, I've been patient, our residents have been patient, but our patience is wearing out. Westland residents deserve reliable and timely services that we pay for. The city has an obligation to hold our contractors accountable and ensure that those standards are met. We remain committed to protecting taxpayers and ensuring they receive the quality services that they expect and deserve. And I know I just read a statement. I said a lot in the media, I said a lot online, but I want Westland residents to know that we're going to do everything we can, everything possible to make this situation, which has become really a horrible nuisance for our city. We're going to make it better, and we're demanding that Priority improves their service as fast as possible. If they don't, there'll be more consequences for them. On another note, I want to invite everyone to our Farmers Market Kids Day and Family Movie Night at Central City Park this Thursday, June 18th. The Kids Day Farmers Market will run from 3 to 7 p.m. with kids' activities, a DJ, and face painting. At 5:30, join me and other city officials for free hot dogs, chip, water, and popcorn. The movie Zootopia 2 begins at 7 p.m. And if you're there for the movie, don't forget your lawn chair or blanket. Another exciting thing this week is our first preview event at the brand new Nankin Square and Amphitheater. The food truck rally begins at 5 p.m. and Son of a Gun, which is a Guns N' Roses cover band, will take the stage at 6 p.m. I had to just make that clear. They'll take the stage at 6 p.m. for a free concert. Food truck rallies and concerts will continue through the summer. Please check the city website, our social media pages, and other lines of communication for the concert details. We'll be posting those very soon. I also want to announce, and City Council, if you haven't gotten this yet, you'll get it soon, the invitation to our official ribbon-cutting ceremony for Nankin Square and Amphitheater on Friday, June 26th. County Executive Warren Evans and other elected officials will be joining us Friday, June 26th at 1:30 p.m. at the Nankin Square and Amphitheater. I want to invite everybody to join us there. In observance of Juneteenth, the William P. Foss Public Library and 18th District Court will be closed. Sanitation services should not be affected. Gethsemane Missionary Baptist Church, Christ Temple Apostolic Faith Church, and the Southeast Westland Homeowners Association will be hosting a Juneteenth event on Friday, June 19th from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. This event will take place at Gethsemane Church, located at 29066 Eaton Street. Join us for music, cultural performances, local vendors, food trucks, and family fun. I'm really looking forward to this. It's the first event of its kind in the city of Westland. As Ms. Wilson said earlier, we even put up banners to celebrate this great occasion along Middle Belt Road and southeast portion of our city. So thank you so much for organizing the event, and I'm really looking forward to being there. I'm going to be doing a town hall with our other state rep, Representative Herzberg, at the Holiday Park Clubhouse. Holiday Park is right here on Wayne Road, just south of Joy Road. The clubhouse is in the front of the sub. That's going to be next Monday, June 22nd at 5 p.m. We're going to have city directors there and other city staff to take questions, and we're just going to do a little update about city and state issues. If you own a business in Westland or thinking about starting one, join us for a small business summit on Tuesday, June 23rd from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. here at City Hall. This free event features breakout sessions on topics such as data and tech, business planning, resiliency, and more. Breakout sessions will be followed by an outdoor resource fair at Nankin Square and Amphitheater. You can register by contacting the Economic Development Department at 734-467-3264. The City of Westland will be performing concrete rehabilitation work on Ann Arbor Trail between Middle Belt and Donna Street. This work consists of milling the existing deficient asphalt pavement surface and applying a new 2-inch asphalt wearing cap. The project is scheduled for June 24th through June 27th. Our Community Engagement Department will be hosting a Pride Month lunchtime conversation again this year on Thursday, June 25th from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. here at City Hall. Join us for lunch and great conversation from our keynote speaker, Desmond Robinson, and our panelists, Derek Burgoyce and Christina Ware. And I want to thank the speakers of that event for participating. In observance of Independence Day, the Farmers Market will not be open on Thursday, July 2nd. City offices, the 18th District Court, and the Westland Recycle Center will be closed on Friday, July 3rd. The Westland Public Library and Recycle Center will be closed on Saturday, July 4th. Sanitation services should not be affected. I wish everyone a happy and safe 4th of July Independence Day. I ask residents to please obey the fireworks ordinance. I also want to just touch on Brookfield Village. Ms. Fennick, thank you for speaking about the speeders. I again will speak to our police chief and ask for more patrols in your area. I know that you're frustrated, and we'll continue to do the best job we can. I know speeding is a problem citywide, so we'll do our best to get it under control. Thank you, City Council. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Mayor Coleman. Anything from the City Attorney's Office this evening?
Good evening, Council. Always good to be with you. Just briefly, I just wanted to identify some comments on the FOIA issue that was raised. So the city may take a 10-day extension on FOIA requests. Those are done fairly routinely. Within that time, the request can be granted, denied, or at times granted in part and denied in part. Again, those extensions are fairly routine and addressed in the city's FOIA forms and FOIA policies. Oftentimes, the city and staff will require time to arrange for staff either availability or time in order to review records to ensure that they're either able to be released or maybe need to be redacted in some part prior to being released. In this particular case, as I understand it, although I wasn't involved in it, the extension, as I understand it, is this week. It's up, and so the FOIA request will be responded to this week. And within that time period, again, the FOIA coordinator will comply with the obligations of the city to disclose public records. And I will follow up with the FOIA coordinator on that, but I just wanted the council to be aware of the general principles. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Attorney Grisco. All right, we will now begin council comments this evening, hearing from Councilman John Sullivan.
Thank you, Council President. Just briefly, I saw a great show at the Inspire Theater on Saturday, and I just wanted to share with the residents, if anyone gets the opportunity to go over there and see any of the shows that they put on. They really do a great job. The tickets are not very expensive. It's our local theater right down Warren Road here. But really had a great time. I went to their last show too and had a great time. And I don't really consider myself a theater person, but I think I might be becoming one because they really put on some entertaining and fun shows there. So just wanted to encourage residents, if you get the opportunity, to go catch a show there. They're not able to do them very often. The current show is sold out. Their next show is going to be in October, and tickets will go on sale early August, is what I was told, and they will sell out. So check them out, get online and get some tickets because they really do a great job over there. I wanted to mention, I got kind of excited the other day. I was driving down Wayne Road and I saw 3 brand new priority trucks. Shiny, new, never been used. They said they were purchasing new trucks. I was like, great, they're coming. They're gonna do better. And then I put my trash out Thursday night for the Friday pickup, and Friday came and went and nobody picked it up. Saturday came and went, nobody picked it up, and then Sunday morning, finally, one of their old dirty trucks with the bucket in the front came and got it. So apparently, we didn't get those new trucks, but I know there's new ones coming, and hopefully service will get better as they roll them into the community. I think I heard they're purchasing 91 new trucks was what I saw. So hopefully they'll be in our community soon and our service will improve. And the only other thing I wanted to mention was Sunday is Father's Day, so happy Father's Day to all of the fathers out there. Hope you enjoy your day, and thank you for being here, the residents that are here or that are watching. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Sullivan. We will now hear from Councilwoman Emily Baumann.
Thank you. I do also want to say thank you to everybody that came out and shared everything you shared, whether it was related to Flock or history. It's one of the things before I was a council member, I really appreciated the ability to speak and to hear people, and I think that's really important to take that time. And so I appreciate that, that you guys do that, because civic engagement is something that is really near and dear to me, so I really appreciate it. And I know that some of the things will be addressed by different organizations within our city, so I'm glad to hear that as well. I will also be seeing the Inspire theater performance this weekend, so I'm excited about that. And I actually don't have a lot to say. I'm going to also echo in Happy Father's Day. It's one of those things where I know that not everyone either, I know that I would say whether your parent is because by biological, or it's by adoption, or it's just because somebody just really was a good father to you, or something like that. It just, I'm like, appreciate what that kind of thing, because we all need those role models. And whether or not, however your family came together, I think it's really important to recognize fathers. And I am one who, actually, I grew up I had a lady who said that because her parents had been already deceased, she was an orphan. So I guess I'm considered an orphan now, because both my parents have deceased. So I do still take time to honor their memories and things like that. And of course, celebrate my husband, who is also a father. So happy Father's Day to everybody. And we will see you. Happy 4th of July. Great time to celebrate. Again, Independence Day. It's a big part of our year. And this is the 250th anniversary of that signing, and I know there are other dates involved with 1776 and when it was actually put in there. So, but I do want to recognize that and thank everybody, and we'll see you in July.
Thank you, Councilwoman Baumann. We will now hear from Councilwoman Antoinette Martin.
Hi there. 4th of July, wow. It's
Already?
almost there. It's like you woke up and it was January 1st and now it's the end of June. Anyway, last week we had a really nice week at Rotary. We gave away our scholarships, and I'd personally like to congratulate Tracy Funn, Abigail Stilbenton, and thank you. And maybe you can do this for me, because I don't know how to pronounce some of their names. And Carabias. So those were the Rotary scholarships. We're always graced with the North Brothers, who, in memory of their father, give away 2 sets of scholarships, one with Westland Rotary and one with Garden City Rotary, same amounts of money. And that would be Omar Hernandez, Grace Smith, and Jordan Wade. And then this year, the police department joined us, which was really lovely. Madeline Valdez and Jordan Wade, am I saying her name right? Okay, and congratulations to all those students. They worked hard and they deserve it. Let's see, oh, and then we had our Tigers raffle, and I can only say Janet S. won the raffle. She'll be going to see a Tigers game at a suite for 18 people. So if you know the winner, call her up and say you want to go. Nankin Transit will be celebrating 50 years next month. I think we're going to put something together. I'll let you know. More to come, because we have a meeting on Thursday. Happy Pride Month to all my friends and family. And then lastly, Juneteenth. I'll see you on Friday, Lori. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Martin. We will now hear from Councilwoman Andrea Rakowski.
Thank you, Council President. Good evening, everyone. Thank you once again for being here and sharing your concerns and just a lot of information that I don't think we necessarily get full pictures of full stories. So I appreciate that, and thank you for exercising your liberties and your civic duty. I appreciate that. I'd like to wish anyone who cares to celebrate Pride a happy Pride Month, and for those who don't, you can skip over this part of my comment. A happy Father's Day to those that are fathers or father figures. It's important that our children have role models. It's important that our children have positive male role models. So if you're not a father, but maybe you're active in the community, you're a teacher, please don't discount the effect that you make on the children in your community. And so part of that is also protecting them. So please keep that at the forefront of your mind. I'm excited and looking forward to the Juneteenth celebration. I'll be there. I spoke to my students about it and was able to give them postcards, so I hope that I'll be able to see some of my students and see how their summer's getting on. And then happy 4th. So seems like June into July has something for everyone, from graduates to brides and fathers, and it's a lovely time in our community. I'm looking forward to our various celebrations as we get on into the summer, and the opening of our wonderful splash pad is fantastic. So I wish you all, a wonderful end of June, and we'll see you in July. And yeah, thank you for being here this evening. And if you have concerns, please continue to keep us informed. We don't know unless you tell us. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Rakowski. We will now hear from Councilwoman Melissa Sampe.
Okay, thank you so much. Good evening, everyone, and happy Pride Month to those that are celebrating Pride. And I do have a few family members that are active in the community, so I definitely want to support and mention a happy Pride Month for June. I wanted to thank everyone who spoke. Again, I think it's really important, and thank you for those that actually went the extra mile and did a presentation. So thank you so much for that. I think just taking in information is really important, and going the extra mile and being a resident and informing us, I think is important. It gives us a lot to think about. Also to Ms. Fennick, who talked about the speeding, I'm hoping that someone is able to stay after and speak with you. I know this has been an issue in your community, and especially if you have a house in particular that is a hoarder house or junk house, that's something I think our ordinance department needs to go and take a look at it. They quite possibly need to condemn it, it sounds like. So I'm hoping someone from the administration can stay after and speak with you. If not, I can get the information and pass it along. But thank you for coming this evening and speaking. We greatly appreciate all the speakers. I think there also was someone who mentioned about the Cayley Park event on July 10th, talking about the civil rights. Also, you mentioned about a lawsuit. I don't know if our city attorney can stay after and speak with the gentleman and show the information that you found online, just so he has it. That would be awesome. And then, I'm trying to think, I think that's all the speakers. Lori, I appreciate you speaking. You and Donna have put in a lot of work in the Juneteenth event. I will be there as well with my family. So it sounds to me like you're going to have some food trucks and vendors, and you put in a lot of work for this event. So I invite everyone to come out on Friday, Yosemite Missionary Baptist Church, 5:30 to 8:30. There's probably not free food, but I think the food trucks, huh? No, but it doesn't, it's just food. But that's okay. I think it's gonna be fun. I know that every time that you guys do an event down there, it's always first class, so I'm looking forward to it. I know that it's been brought up about the trash issue and being out of control. As council members, we work this part-time, but I have been getting an overwhelming amount of calls on a daily basis, 2 to 5 calls from people. They miss my trash, they miss my bulk pickup, they miss my recycling, and it is definitely not acceptable at all. And I appreciate the mayor withholding the money, but I'm trying to kind of rally, as we do this job part-time, I'm trying to rally everyone's comments, figure out what areas that you're in, that's the trash is being missed. So I have a survey that I'm going to be putting out in a link. It's basically collecting your information, your name, where you live, and how many times within the past 60 days approximately that you've missed bulk pickup, trash, and recycling. I think it's going to give all of us a better picture of what areas and also the administration information to go off of. When we think of priority, we think that they've taken on too much, and I do believe that they have. Too much, too fast. They just grew in numbers. So I'm going to be getting this out on my personal council page, Melissa Sampe. I'm going to be putting in groups, but if you want to reach out to me via phone, I can log it in there, but I think we just need to really get our arms around it. It's just really unacceptable. So I'm going to just pass along my cell phone, 734-637-2078. If I don't answer, just drop me a quick text, but I'm going to be trying to get this out just to collect information, just to kind of, again, put our arms around it, because I don't foresee it getting better anytime soon. Surrounding communities are now starting to vocalize their issues, and I haven't seen really much on my end, at least in my neighborhood. I haven't seen much progress from them. So I think we're in for a little bit now. I also want to say Happy Father's Day to my dad. My dad, Steve, has been my rock in many different ways. I also want to say Happy Father's Day to my husband, and he's been an awesome dad to my children, but also an awesome, we call him, my grandson calls him G-Pa, but he's kind of taken that place as a father figure as well. And then to all the Westland dads, I think that you all deserve a beautiful Sunday, so I'm hoping that you have a great day, you enjoy it, you spend time with your families, and if anyone needs me before then, please feel free to reach out on that personal council page or my cell phone. But be safe and kind with one another. Enjoy your 4th of July, be safe, and we'll see you on July 6th.
Thank you, Councilwoman Sampe. We will now hear from Pro Tem Keisha Maxwell.
Good evening. So I want to say thank you to the residents for coming out. We do appreciate all your feedback. I want to wish everyone a happy Father's Day, and I'm excited to support and participate in the Southeast Westland Homeowners Juneteenth event. So you already know, you'll see me on Friday. I want to, I'm a proud auntie, and so my oldest nephew turned 15 today. He's my baby bear, but his name is Justice, and so I've never missed any of his birthday celebrations, so we had to go out yesterday and celebrate. But I told him I was going to wish him, so happy 15th birthday, Justice. I will see everyone on July 6th.
Thank you, Pro Tem. A few things from me tonight. Who could have guessed? So first off, I want to thank everybody that came out, spoke about Flock, and spoke about a number of issues, but thank you for bringing things up, bringing things to the attention to us and my colleagues on the council, so very much appreciate on that. Thank you to the mayor for really, putting Priority's feet to the fire. I think we've all been collectively frustrated. We're all residents too at the end of the day, and I live at Avondale and Wildwood, and my neighborhood has been missed countless times for yard waste pickup. My neighborhood has been missed for recycling, it's been missed for trash pickup, or they come days late when they do come. Our day is on Tuesday, for an instance, and 3 weeks ago, we put our yard waste out and it got picked up on Saturday. So we were fortunate that it didn't rain, because if it does rain, it's a huge problem and it creates a huge mess. And I know the city clerk who normally sits here, Shannon Inman, lives right around the block from me. She's been experiencing the same thing. All of us on council have been experiencing the same thing. The mayor has been experiencing the same thing, and we're all collectively frustrated. So I want to thank the mayor for holding Priority accountable and getting them to give some of your taxpayer money back when they're doing a really poor job, to say the least. So thank you for that. A couple of things that I've been working on. I am excited to, at some point soon, work with folks here in the audience, folks on council, to hold some of our slumlords and bad landlords in the community accountable. One of them was brought up tonight and has been brought up on a number of occasions. And I will just say that some of what I'm working on is housing-related ordinances that really, I've gotten feedback from a number of people, feedback from some of my colleagues on council as well. And we owe all of you as residents, and we owe our renters more specifically, some real accountability in terms of holding these bad landlords and these bad actors accountable on a number of different things. So I'm excited to work with the administration, work with my colleagues on council, most of all work with all of you in the community to have some housing-related ordinances coming up here in the near future. And I'll get into some specifics on that in the future. I'm also, like my colleagues mentioned, going to be at the Juneteenth event that's coming up at the Gethsemane Missionary Baptist Church, so I'm excited to be a part of that. And one thing that I think is important to keep in mind is that Independence Day for some of us was not Independence Day for all of us. Because even though we all collectively, as a country, celebrate Independence Day on July 4th, we know that for many years, not only through the emancipation of slaves, were people not granted Independence Day, but really, when you go up to the 1960s, before we repealed Jim Crow, it was not truly Independence Day for all Americans, in particular Black and brown Americans and Americans of color. So we really have two Independence Days in this country that are worthy of celebration, and not only July 4th, but the Juneteenth celebration. So I would encourage everybody in the community to stop on by, even if you can't stay for the whole thing, if you can only come for a few minutes, to really celebrate Juneteenth and acknowledge why we celebrate that in this country. When you celebrate July 4th, as the mayor mentioned, please be cognizant of state law and the city ordinance on fireworks, and be cognizant of our veterans. There are many combat veterans who suffer from PTSD, and when you're shooting off fireworks at all hours of the night, and you're going to 2, 3, 4 in the morning, and you're doing it days before it is allowed, please be cognizant of those veterans who suffer from PTSD in our community. And, we know that, especially this time of year, it's going to be one of the number one responses that our Westland Police is going to have and get calls for. So I'm, thankful for them for responding as well, but please be cognizant of our veterans who may suffer the trauma of PTSD. I want to thank everybody in the community who came out for the Relay for Life event. It was another successful relay event, and proud to report that it sounds like they did hit their goal again this year at the relay event. So thank you to Miriam Cady, thank you to Rhonda, thank you to Carol and Jill and the entire relay team for putting on another great Relay for Life event. Thank you to our Westland Police and our Westland firefighters for their first responders lap and helping raise money for the relay event. And thank you to all of you in the community who came out to help raise funds and make donations for the relay event in the fight against cancer. As the mayor already mentioned, we do have the Pride Month event coming up here at City Hall on June 25th at 11:30. This is an annual luncheon that we've done for several years now, so I want to thank our Community Engagement Director, Pascal Ize, and his team for organizing this event. I want to thank Derek Bergheis and Christina for participating in the event as our guest speakers as well. And then it was mentioned by the mayor about the Nankin Square and Amphitheater ribbon cutting. That was sent out to the council, so there, if you check your email, there was a RSVP sent out to our calendars. So that was sent out by the administration earlier this week, or I think late last week. So that was sent out to the council. Just want to acknowledge that everybody on the council was made aware of that. And then finally, I feel like I have one more thing to talk about. Sorry, I have lost my place. I have so many things I talk about each and every week. Now, you know what? We had a storm the other day, and I haven't hit your DTE bingo square. I haven't heard of a lot of power outages, but it is always a continuous issue. And we, as your elected officials and public servants, always need to continue to hold DTE and consumers, our big for-profit, Wall Street-driven utilities, to account. So I guess the last thing I will conclude by saying is Happy Father's Day. I know we have many fathers up here on the dais, and to all of you in the audience who are dads who celebrate, all of those in the Westland community, a very happy Father's Day. I'd like to wish my dad, also named Mike McDermott, a very happy Father's Day. He is the man who taught me how to throw a baseball. He's the man that took me to Tigers games and Red Wings games and Michigan football games growing up. He's the man that taught me how to cook real barbecue, low and slow. So to my dad, who's also a Westland resident, very happy Father's Day, and a happy Father's Day to all those dads in Westland. And as always, if you need something from me, you can give me a call or text on my cell phone at 734-890-2146, or you can find me at Councilman Mike McDermott on Facebook. And I'm sure this is everybody's favorite part of the meeting. Is there a motion to adjourn?